What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today version 44 came out, and I've got to play my boy Gideon. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Auto Shield, Experienced, Mana Fountain, Spell Shield, and lastly, Overpowered Spells for my gems. For my cards, I have Advanced Evolution, Call the Weak, Font of Experience, Mana Flow Acolyte, Astral Leap, Invader Mage, Atomic Soldier, Shadow Dancer, Awaken the Emmerich, Corrosive Walker, and Grinning Spectre. Sorry for the late video, guys. What I ended up actually doing was kind of waiting for everybody to show up, and we went into a 5v5 match where we played all the reworked heroes. You can see me and Gideon are here in mid lane, and it's Twinblast, Rampage, Grux, Feng, and Gideon. That's all we're playing, and we're just kind of seeing what all has changed. You know, you can see me and Gideon, we're not playing serious at all at the beginning, but, you know, that slowly changes. This was a really fun match, and I'm glad we got to do it. We definitely got to see, you know, the experience that everybody had. So without playing all the heroes, we can kind of see the pros and cons of the reworks. And, like, Rampage, his ultimate, holy moly, man. That thing, he's so hard to kill, and he gets it back so quick. But Gideon is right there along those lines. His stun is absolutely amazing. You actually stun for the full duration of Black Hole unless you're able to get out of it. The stun does take just a little bit of time to actually activate, though. So you can't just, you know, pop in, ult, and get someone right at the edge. If they do see you're about to ult, they do have a split second to get out. But that's really only, you know, mobile heroes that can actually make that escape. His burden, I forget the name of it, the right click, that ability actually does most of his damage now. And I've had a lot of people saying, hey, how do you aim this thing? It goes to where you are aiming when you click the ability. So if it's going to go, think of it in the same way as gadgets, seek and destroy. If you aim it up in the air, it will go that way, and then, you know, it will go straight. But if you aim it at the ground, it'll go right to where you aim. It's almost the same with this ability. It goes to where you click it. So if the enemy is running left to right, if you lead them a little bit, you can hit them. It's taken me a while to get used to it, and I'm definitely not used to it yet. But Gideon feels so good, guys. His ultimate now really makes him an absolute rotating machine. You know, I actually went to our off lane right around I hit level 5 and, you know, try to get that gank. And if the enemy is pushed up under the tower, you can ult them and there's nothing they can do. And you should absolutely be able to destroy them. You know, that's crazy. And, you know, yeah, I really think that's going to change the way Paragon feels and just everything like that. Now, the other thing is the last hitting. I am not a fan of this. I wasn't a fan of it whenever I read it, and I'm definitely not a fan of it now that I'm using it. The lanes push a lot faster. You know, sure, you can secure that farm, but now slow farming means don't shoot at all instead of just chipping away at an enemy. And you know, you feel rushed. It feels very rushed to me. Like, hey, don't ever quit shooting. Just keep on getting this farm. Let's rush. And I don't know if I like that. You know, I prefer the slower, you know, which I've complained about that since version 42 dropped. I feel the speed of the game is just, it's getting fast, and it seems like every update is just faster and faster and faster. And with this new passive Call of the Week, you know, it is extremely fast. I did use Call of the Week on a hero, and man, you can kill minions at like 50% health. It's absolutely crazy. So it basically turns you into a lane pushing machine, which, you know, in the off lane, that might be great, but as far as the carry getting fed, you know, the actually getting fed just feels a little bit more different. Now, you see here, I do go in and I'm able to stun this Gideon. You can see the damage on Black Hole is just not there. So now more than ever, Black Hole is really meant to use as a team engagement tool or a team's tool. You know, use that ult, get 3 people in it, get some CC from your other heroes. It's an absolute amazing tool. I have ran into some issues where Gideons I'll ult and then instantly the enemy Gideon ults. And, you know, as soon as mine's up. So if you're ever in a Gideon match, you definitely want to make that other Gideon a priority. I would say even more so than the ADC, because if he's able to ult as soon as your Gideon's ult is up, you know, it's GG, because they're going to just stomp you. So that's kind of a big issue an issue that we're going to now have to get used to. And, you know, it feels good. Gideon feels just so good. I do think he's a little strong, though. He's, his damage is still pretty close to the same as it was, but instead of his rock being a delayed thing, it's now an instant, or like Burden. Burden did tons and tons of damage, but it used to be, it would tick. Now you've got your rock that hits for the full duration of Burden. And so I think they might need to turn one of his rocks down a little bit. He does feel definitely a little too strong. Alright, well that's kind of enough of that. This update is absolutely huge. It has definitely taken me a while to get used to the HUD. I don't like how it might just be me, but the map looks smaller. The mini-map feels smaller. And I'm not a huge fan of that. I almost wish the map was bigger than it used to be. Because I like to spend a lot of time looking at the mini-map. There's also, I do have an issue of how the pinging system works. Now, we are in a custom game and we're all in comms, but when you are in a solo game, which I've only played a couple, that when someone pings enemy missing, you get the small text on one side and then the actual ping on the other side, and the volume is very, very quiet. And so it's not this big indication of boom, enemies missing. And you really have to be paying attention to the HUD to see these type of things. It's not, an indication it's kind of out of the way with that very small volume, like I said. And I definitely have ran into some issues where I'm not seeing callouts. Of course, I'm not used to this new system, so I'm missing callouts because, I'm not used to where to look. But there definitely is a lot going on in the HUD. I think it's a little bit too busy for me. The health bars are also a little bit distracting, which I believe you can turn the health bars on to just fully stay on all the time. And I'm definitely going to have to do that with the new system because, I like seeing the enemy health bars. I don't care about seeing my minions' health bars, but I definitely want to see the enemy minions' health bars. So, yeah, again, we're just going to have to wait for that. Now, if you see here, this Gideon comes up behind me. You saw I was at very, very low health, and his ultimate's not enough to take me out. And with my tower hitting him, and since I had that little time to use an ability, I was actually able to take him out being at, a third health. I believe I was critical almost that entire engagement, and his ultimate's just not strong enough to take me out. So that is kind of a big deal, that's pretty significant. Gideon's ultimate is definitely a team engagement tool, and which is how it always has been. It's just, before you got punished for using it, now you definitely can get rewarded for using it. And I really do like it. Now, I end up heading back down mid lane. I guess I'm going to kind of jump back and forth between gameplay and talking what I think about the update. Now, I am going in on this Gideon. I'm able to put a little bit of damage on this tower. I'm able to hit him with that, the Comet. That ability just feels so good. Now, I stun him because Feng says he's on his way, so I'm going to hope to actually either get this kill, which I missed that rock, but I'm keeping him engaged while Feng is able to rotate. Feng does show up and secure that kill. So, that great play all in all. And from here, I'm going to make sure Feng can get out, and then I'm actually going to dip out. That was, really well coordinated between us, even though I took a ton more damage than I wanted to. We kind of knew what we were doing, so that's why that play looked a little goofy. Now, another couple of things that they've done is they've added this drag and drop system with the decks, and I do not like this. I'm not a fan of it at all. You know, I think they need to establish the cards differently than how they are currently. You know, they are kind of all stacked on top of each other, and if they really want this system to work, I think there needs to be a separation. Maybe make it how the old system looked, where, you know, they were much smaller cards, but they were spread out. I think that would just be a much better option. You see there, we're able to take out that Gideon. You know, Gideon's just, his damage output is insane right now. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the drag and drop, as well as the control hitting the buttons to assign your attribute points. I'm constantly putting them in the wrong areas, which that's something that, you know, I'm just going to get used to. Now, you do fully stop. You can no longer hold G down to assign attribute points, which I'm not a fan of that at all. You know, I started really getting used to that system, and now that they've taken it out, I would much prefer that system over the current one we have. But, you know, again, it is what it is. This is something that we'll have to get used to. Hopefully they'll implement both of them. That way we kind of have a choice on how we want to implement things, because as of right now, you can either completely stop, pull out the menu, click the button, or you can just hit the G button like you used to be able to, but it stops you. There's no longer movement there. Or you can use the, you know, the quick keys. But again, since I'm so bad with keyboards, which I actually misclicked my ult a couple of times, you'll see in this match, it's much more difficult for me to hit control 2, 3, and, you know, avoid fat fingering a button. Now I'm going to go ahead and back off of this mid lane. You know, I'm actually going to rotate to our off lane because our Rampage is struggling a little bit. And I really wanted to talk about this because you can see the range of Gideon's ult. Now, I go ahead and, you know, teleport over there, use my ult, and you see the range is very small. And so I've actually, you know, missed my ult a handful of times so far, just because, yes, that range is very small. It's very deceiving. And I can definitely see Gideon using Blink again. I can definitely see that card scaling, or that card being utilized very well with Gideon, so you can make sure you get into the enemy's group, as well as, you know, you have 2 very strong burst spells, and, you know, with having those, I think you could take that hit of, you know, using 4 points for that astral leap. So, you know, no big deal. Now, our Feng, we're in comms, and I'm asking him what he's doing. You know, he's fighting Rampage in the jungle, and you can see Rampage is a beast, guys. You know, they don't call him King of the Jungle for nothing. You can no longer fight Rampage in a jungle, let alone, you know, fighting Rampage. Even at max level, I'm max level. I'm the most fed person on the team. I've got a level advantage over a Rampage, and I'm doing a little more than tickling him, but I'm not able to take him out. His ultimate is very, very strong currently. So, you know, that is definitely something to be aware of. But guys, don't fight Rampage in the jungle. He's going to win that one. Now, this right here is going to show you Cosmic Rift is no longer your damage dealer. I get hit with Cosmic Rift there, and you see I was very low, but didn't kill me. If he would have used that straight line comet, it would have definitely killed me. So, Gideon's new damage dealer is his right click. Now, I do make my way to mid lane, and you can see we kind of have our team here, and I say, hey guys, I'm almost there, I'm gonna ult, we'll get this, and I just walk up and ult people. I don't even, you know, I don't need to ult in the air anymore because, you know, it stuns people. So, I do like that aspect. It's, you know, you no longer have to ult 100 miles above people so they have to look up to kill you. Now, it just straight up stuns you, so you don't have to worry about it at all. The pull is not near as hard as it used to be either, so you saw it kind of pulled people in, but we've had a couple of wombo combos with a Gideon ult and a steal. We did that in the first game that I played, and that is just awesome, guys. I really, really like that. So, I think Gideon's in a very good spot. Now, here we are at Fangtooth, and this is the first time we're actually going to take out Fangtooth, get that 4 power with that 1,000 gold. Now, Fangtooth spawns in, I believe it's like at 2 minutes. It's very, very early. And then, I'm not exactly sure of the timer after that. I have not got to spend as much time with everything as I would like to. You know, being on Wednesday, it kind of messed my schedule up. That's why this video is late, guys. So, but I think Fangtooth spawns in at like 2 minutes, and then maybe every 10 minutes or 8 minutes after that. It's pretty regular. He spawns in quite a bit, and if you watch that patch notes video, I was saying, hey, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But we actually secured it in one of our matches. There was a total of 5 secures onto the Fangtooth, which 4 of them were our team. 1 of them was the enemy team. So, that is something. And we've also had some amazing team fights in that Raptor pit, which, that feels just so good. I really love the fact that Fangtooth is a thing. I love the fact that we have a lot more to do in the jungle. It just feels so solid. Now, I was able to rotate onto this Twin and Grux, and you see, we're able to take them out. Gideon's rocks. Oh, you see that damage they put out? Oh, man, they hit so hard. And, it feels good. I do think, I think he kind of is outclassing all other mid laners at the moment. Sure, I have not played a whole lot, but, I used to play a lot of mid lane, guys, and right now, just, you have these 2 insane hitting, high damage abilities, which no other mid laner really has that. Morgesh, she's got her Mark and her little poison ball. Gadget's got Seek and Destroy. It's not near as strong as the other abilities are. So, I definitely see tuning down coming in Gideon's future. Alright, now I definitely had to fast forward my misclick. So, there's my first misclick on my ult. And Twin actually makes a pretty poor choice right here. He comes in, to try to do something, and we have a little bit of a team collapse, and we're able to just destroy him. Again, I think that's the second time Feng has tried to, execute somebody, and I've snagged the kill from him. But that's another thing, guys. I'm not a fan of Feng's execute. I think it's very cheap. I think getting an indicator of when you can instantly kill somebody, I'm not a fan of that. Even on the minions, I'm not a fan of that. And it is unfortunate, but is what it is. Now, you see, the Gideon comes in and ults me again. And you can see, he's at his second stage ult now, and it did almost no damage to me. So I did have that shield on, which, that might have saved me. But that ult is just not doing much damage-wise. It really needs to be used as a team, and I am actually able to get out. Now, our Rampage is trying to solo the Fangtooth, and, it was really for science reasons, I guess. And I am telling him, hey, man, Gideon's going to steal that from you, but, just take it from me, guys. Gideon can steal that thing now. So, definitely, if you see an enemy show up, even if you've got the Fangtooth at low health or whatever, you should definitely try to get out so you don't get it stolen from you. But really, this was kind of a science thing. We wanted to see if we could solo it, because, Fangtooth does a decent amount of damage. Sure enough, Gideon is able to steal that. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we do end up taking him out. And you can see right there, I did lead that Gideon. I saw where he was going to be. I led him just like any other ability, but I would have to say that the Gideon's, straight line rock, it does have a little bit more of a flight time than like an ADC bullet. So learning that timing might take a little bit of, it might take a little bit of time to get that straightened out, but just lead them a little bit and it will definitely work. Now from here, we're able to take down that, tier 2, and you see I use this ultimate again. Me paired with Grux, we're able to just crank out the damage. And, having just all that CC, getting those enemies close, everybody's getting hit with cleave, everything like that. That we made an amazing play there. And, that wouldn't have happened before with Gideon's ult. You know, sure, Rampage would have just jumped out in, Feng would have just dashed out. Now it's solid. There's no escape. I'm gonna go ahead and head over to this safe lane, or our safe lane, I guess, and their Twinblast, he's kind of gets caught out a little bit, and we're able to take him out. He was a little bit overextended, and with that mid inhib going down, it's definitely, if you are playing an ADC, you definitely want to be careful. And, yeah, it was very easy to rotate, especially since I have put on Shadow Dancer now. Now, if you saw there, my spell shield actually worked against one of the Prime's missiles. I didn't know that would happen, but hey, there you go. And we're able to make our Prime play. From here, we kind of just waste Prime. This was one of the first games that we really got to test out all the heroes. So we're really just kind of having fun, and we want to get, higher in our build and everything like that to really see what's going on. We don't want to just rush and in the game, but we definitely want to take Prime away from the enemies. Now, here is a play that we were talking about in chat, because I swear I went invis, and I'm going, hey, how could y'all see me? And I think my shield going on with that Prime buff paired together, I'm glowing like that, and I'm thinking I had my invis on, but you could clearly see that card was not on cooldown. So that's really what messed me up there. I thought I was invis, so I wasn't worried about anything, but sure enough, I'm visible with 3 health, just standing there like, a doofus. So, yeah, that kind of clears that up. So, if you were in chat with us and, I was going, hey, how did y'all see me? That's what it was. I made a mistake, and, it's all on me. We all make mistakes, though, no problem. Now, once I do spawn back in, we're going to go ahead and head down to Fangtooth, and we end up, securing this Fangtooth, but the enemy team does rotate over. Now, I'm going to dip out towards my way, the safer way, and I actually end up collapsing on top, and we get an amazing 3-person stun, but you can see I pin our Rampage against the wall right there, mechanics. And then from here we end up, we took out that Rampage, but we're going to keep chasing, and, again, we're really, this is a fun match. Now, I do have that invis, and, I think having that Shadow Dancer on Gideon is way more viable than it used to be. Now, Feng says, hey, let's just chase these guys and kill them, So, hey, that's what I'm going to do. Now I am out of mana, and I get caught out, and we get slaughtered. But, again, this is a 5-man, sub-match, so we're just having a lot of fun. And, again, guys, if y'all want to participate in things like that, definitely let me know. Jump in our Discord. We try to do these type of things all the time, and with this new update, having 5 reworks, it was a perfect opportunity. Sure, Rampage support on one side and a Grux support on the other isn't ideal, but it was a really fun match. So, if that's something you want to do, join our Discord. I'll leave a link here. There's a link in the description. There's a link at the end of the video. I'd love to have y'all join. Now, I do head over to make sure our Rampage got out, and you can see he goes back, he was almost dead, and he goes back to full health, like, instantly. Especially with that ultimate being on a 40-second cooldown, I definitely think there's going to be some changes that need to happen with Rampage, as well as Gideon. But these reworks were great. They have slowly removed all of the, kind of engage, disengage abilities from tanks. Rampage, Steel, Sevarog has his, and I think if they take that away from Sevarog, it's never going to be good. Sevarog really needs that, but, they've kind of removed those. Grux no longer has his charge, and I think those are good changes. Your tank shouldn't have the mobility of, more mobility than, Twinblast or, an ADC. Your tank should be, big tanks that, they can take punishment but can't get away from it easily. Now here's my second misclick, guys. Let's go ahead and fast forward through that one too. Now from here we do end up rotating on this Twinblast. He gets caught out again, and he's just a little bit overextended. That's something that, it comes with time and learning that, hey, when to turn around, when not to. Really, at this point, they really need somebody pushing lanes, and they've got a lot of presence in mid, and we're pushing that lane. They've got a lot of presence in that off lane. You know, having 2 inhibs down is just very, very tough. Now, you see here, I'm hitting this Rampage, which is, you know, as soon as my stuff comes on cooldown, you know, I was hitting him. He's healing right back up. And you can see that rock almost did no damage to Rampage. You know, Rampage is very, very tough. And, you know, again, it's just like I said before. I think we might see a small little, you know, change with the scaling or with the amount that he's healing. 11% with King of the Jungle does seem a little bit high, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I was planning on going back here, but, you know, Feng, he says, hey, we could probably take this Gideon, so we want to definitely engage on him. And, you know, I'm just kind of juking around. I do have my invisibility, but I need to take his shield away from him. So, I'm going to head take his shield. Now, the beta's real, guys, so Gideon's going to chase me a little bit, and Feng's right there to engage on him. Gideon is able to dip out, but, you know, hey, baiting a teammate is always fun. So, I'm going to head back to mid. You know, I'm good. I don't need a back. Now, this is one of the issues I have. With one ability, I've got the same wave clear as someone like Countess. And I don't know, I kind of see a little bit of an issue with that. I don't think Gideon's side rock should have the, you know, a full wave cleave like that. That just seems a little bit too much. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, we are able to ult this Rampage. You know, Feng ends up getting that execution on him. I do have to get out, though. You know, I'm out of mana. I'm very low. I'm going to use that escape. Now, Gideon is chasing me. I'm going to dip through this fog wall, kind of juke him a little bit. Now, we're playing very sporadic just so we don't get hit with anything. And you can see I end up ulting over the top of him. My team actually ends up rotating and collapsing on this Gideon. Now, look at the damage I hit him with that side rock. Like, holy moly. We actually end up securing this kill. So, hey, you know, again, chasing kills is not always best, guys. I know, hey, sorry, Beck. I know you really wanted to kill me, but, man, I'm too sneaky sometimes. So, better luck next time, bud. From here, we actually have a win-win. So, you know, hey, it was a really fun match. I'm really glad we got to do this, and we got to get, you know, kind of experience over all the heroes because, you know, we had 2 people playing each one, and we got to get opinions and things like that from everybody. So, this was definitely a very fun match. And again, if you want to join in on something like that, feel free, guys. Join the Discord. We'd love to have y'all. Well, as this video wraps up, guys, I gotta say, Gideon's back. I really think he's a little bit too strong at the moment. And, you know, this is from playing, you know, I believe I had 3 total games on him. And, you know, I'm just cranking out so much damage. So, hopefully we can see some changes. You know, that Rampage. There's a few things in 44 that I'm not just the biggest fan of. But it was a good step. And I gotta say, it feels like a revitalized game in a sense. Well, thanks for watching, guys. And if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.